No, it's bros helping bros, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, Red is so handsome.
It did, like,
He's
here's
a
the
handsome
thing that
man.
I'll say. Come on.
The music's playing.
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
Is it playing?
Red is so
Is it? I got rid of YouTube on my freaking TV.
Why'd you do that?
Because my kid watches YouTube all the
Red is
time.
so handsome.
Like, he'll literally spend 14 hours a day watching YouTube on the big screen in the TV. We're in the meeting room.
Red is so handsome.
So I'm just gonna turn it off right now.
Red is so handsome.
Sorry.
Red is so handsome.
But I will say, the gentleman who helped me, he did give me,
People hear the song, man.
sorry.
Red is so handsome. Red is so handsome. He's a handsome man.
We went to a Christmas party of unknown origin, and Red was wearing like super slick cowboy hat,
Super slick cowboy
super
hat.
slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy suit hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy suit hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy suit hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy hat, super slick cowboy suit hat,
Red is so
cowboy hat,
Red is so
slick cowboy hat,
Red is so
cowboy hat,
He's a
slick
handsome
cowboy suit
man.
hat,
Red is so
cowboy hat,
Red is so
slick cowboy hat,
Red is so
cowboy hat.
It is a
handsome man.
He's serious. Take him serious.
Yeah. He's gonna leave us behind. That's good. I'll put that at the end of the show on the
He's
on the
a
thing.
handsome man.
Thanks, Mellow Mograph.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yo, it is a bop.
I
That's
like
a good
that
one.
it's a chill hop, you know. Much better than Monkey Legs.
Much better.
Dude, Monkey Legs is a classic though. You can't forget Monkey
Give
Legs.
you a banana, girl.
Girl.
Girl. That's funny.
All right. Well, we're live. We're on the thing.
What's up, Dan Marino?
We're ready to do a show. We got some
Yeah,
peeps
probably.
in here.
Y'all recommend pulling up the chat?
I normally have it up, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be in the video down there too. But
Oh,
yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
Let's see. Yo, I think we're ready to do a thing. I got my notes. I think we are good.
Y'all got New Year's resolutions?
That's on my notes.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
Rev, I've been trying to think what the best way to introduce you today is, and I've gone through so many things.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I'm just gonna go.
Are we gonna just go through the entire like?
I mean, I
Let's go
could.
through every one of them. Let's just.
The best one that I came up was accidentally calling you Cam instead of.
Oh, that's a good one. No, I like that. I like that. No, you gotta pull the
Yeah,
picture
so-
up. You gotta pull
Yeah,
the
right.
picture up. You gotta give
Oh.
context. I swear, I saw that picture too. I was with David.
Uh-huh.
I saw it. I was like, "Is that? Why did he post the same picture?"
Right.
And I was like, "Oh shit! Okay, that's okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one."
It's funny.
All right. I think we're good to do a show. It's been a while. I'm like, am I forgetting anything? God, just 2 weeks. I'm like, where are we? Which one am I?
It's nice having a couple weeks off. I'll tell you what.
It was only
It's
one
pretty
week.
nice.
That's what's weird. It
Was
feels
it
like
only 1 week?
It feels like it was 2, doesn't it?
Wasn't it 2? Yeah, it was
No.
2.
Uh-uh.
No, well, it's technically 2. It was 2 weeks off, but it was only one show. Like we haven't had a show. Anyway.
Yeah, it was 1 week off.
It was 1 week off, but it has been 2 weeks since we've had a show.
Right.
All right. Anyway. He's a handsome man.
He's a handsome man. Super slick
right.
cowboy hat. Yeah, we'll play it again at
Was
the end.
that Ariev saying super slick cowboy hat?
I think so. He's talking about the
Okay.
party. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Ready?
All right.
What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us is our dear friend, Mr. Will Harvey, also known as Revilo _stuff, or we just call him Rev.
Yeah.
Yo, what up?
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, show topic ideas. We're on mograph.com. We're on youtube.com/mograph. You can just @mograph because that's how we roll. We got that name. That's right.
Straight
And
up.
you can check out
I
all
don't
the
know how.
live
It's
stuff
an
on
accident.
mograph.com/live. You can always see all the shows that are coming up in the near future, which, by the way, we finally got some of the lineup on the schedule. It's been kind of a busy Christmas season, holiday season. So we got people on the board finally. We got Rev here today. We got Aaron Sorensen next week. That'll be fun.
Ooh, next week?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Eric Say, who I've hung out with, but I don't think, Matt, you've hung out with in person. He does
No, that was in
sports
at
graphics.
SIGGRAPH, right?
Yeah, he does sports graphics. We'll talk about sports graphics and whether or not we're living in a simulation, you know?
Ooh, that'll be fun.
And then we've got...
Spoiler, we
Huh?
are.
We are. And we got Patrick 4D. That'll be fun.
Yeah, super excited about that. If y'all aren't in Patrick's Discord is a lot of fun. He's on there every day, and he does like a daily challenge every day. It's a lot of fun. Super cool guy.
And then we got Kelsey Steele. She just finished up in
Yeah.
Rick and Morty. It's, those Adult Swim Rick and Morty things. So we'll talk about that. Dry's is
fun.
going to come back to talk about Frame 1 with us after that. And then
All right.
we're going to have Cameron Sladen on in February, beginning of February. He's from Microverse Studios, does medical stuff. And we've also got a lot of new articles and stuff on the site. Make sure you go check it out. We got a lot coming up this year. And
You're
make
gonna
sure
want to be on that newsletter.
Make sure you also check out courses. If you've got New Year's resolutions and you're looking to change some of your knowledge, update some of your knowledge. If you want to check out the Houdini course, the Procreate course, we got 2 Unreal courses: Creating the Unreal for beginners and RTX on if you really want to get into that RTX stuff.
I have been going back through Winbush's course again, and I'll say, here's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, well, 5.0 is out. Why do I need this, right?
Right.
Well, one, it goes through a lot of the stuff. And another thing you have to realize is a lot of companies aren't on 5 yet, you know? Like, I just picked up a job with a company, it's like a 3-month contract, and they're not using 5. They're using the last version of 4 because it's just, from what I hear, it's not entirely stable yet, So, I mean, that's... Will's everyone's like, nah.
There's a lot of things in it that aren't complete yet or that are in beta. And, I mean, I'm sure there's people using both. You've been messing with it, Rev, right?
I mean, 5 is really good. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's not ready for my pipeline yet. But I still do recommend to go mess with it because at a certain point, everybody's going to be using it.
Of course, yeah.
Go ahead and start getting into it. And the Unreal course, I mean, I went back through it to see how it relates to 5, and it's still, it's not any more different. It's just different UI changes, different layouts. It's, same concept, same basic tools. So
That's what
Yeah.
a lot of people ask when they ask about the courses. Somebody just asked this morning, even about the Houdini course. They're like, "Can I take this course if I want to use 19 because Houdini 19's out?" It's like, yeah, well, it's not like everything changes. You know, most of the time it's like little things, and the
If
basics
it was
are still
5
there.
version difference, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You know.
Plus, we update stuff. We updated some of the big changes in 18.5. So the same thing goes with Unreal too. You know, you're going to learn Unreal if you learn this course. There's and in Brandon's course, he actually does have some chapters that address some things on version 5 anyway. So, you know, I still myself, I'm not really into Unreal, but I know that like Matt, you've been messing with it more lately, and
Yep.
I just hear frustration coming from every angle of Unreal
Yep.
with everybody I talk to, and it makes me not want
Here's-
to mess with it.
Here's what I'll say. If you want a job or are desperate for a job, learn Unreal, because there are so many Unreal jobs out there.
Right.
Like the amount of jobs that are available in Unreal, if you know it, like the world is your oyster. You know, the number one problem I'm having with picking up work lately is that a lot of jobs are asking for Unreal. You know, and that doesn't, you know, if you know it, go for it. Yeah. I was lucky enough, this job that I got picked up for, it's a associate director position for, you know, this company, you know, and so I may not have to be in Unreal at all the times, but I need to at least know what I'm doing, you know. So that's why for the past few weeks, I've just been, you know, digging into Unreal and trying to figure out the best workflow, you know, because for me, that's like, I pride myself, as I'm sure Dave, you do as well, having done thousands of logo animations. I pride myself a lot on being fast, you know.
Right.
That's why we picked up Octane, because it's fast, you know, GPU based and stuff. And it's like, I pride myself very much on that. But so like when I get into a new program and I'm clunky and like stumbling around, I don't love that. That's why I like figuring out what the best workflow is. So I actually, you know, I heard Jules, the few times we've had Jules on the show, you know, he's talked about being able to bring an Orbex file into Unreal. I was like, well, maybe that'll work, you know, because then I'll have access to all like the original, you know, materials and stuff. But it's like, no, when you do that, or even bringing in everything from Cinema through Cineware, like they create these different types of materials and stuff. So it's almost like I have to create all the materials from scratch, which is sad, you know.
Well, the thing you were talking to Jags about, where he has like this ready to go library that he has to copy every time, and it's 100 gig, and it's like, I just feel like workflow is, from everything I hear, workflow sounds awful, because it's not like I haven't touched Unreal before. I know enough about it to be dangerous, but like the very first time you start, you got to compile, and then okay, I'll be back in an hour. It drives me insane. Like, you can't just do file new,
right?
Like,
and then, oh, you got to recompile. Oh, this is out of date. You need to save it.
Oh,
your lighting needs to be rebuilt again.
Your
but
Microsoft
I just built it.
Virtual library.
Sorry.
what's the Microsoft? I don't know what it is. Your .NET framework of this isn't up to date. Your all of that stuff. Like, I don't know. It makes me crazy that you just can't hit file new and just start doing something quickly. And
I mean,
I feel like that's because it was built for games, though.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's a bunch of extra garbage that's being thrown in, and like maybe there's like a light version or that they could do. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. That's the problem. And it feels like that everybody who is trying to get into it has the same problems, and that's why it makes me not want to even bother with it. But
well, I mean, if they master the workflow from Cinema 4D or Blender or whatever you're using to Unreal, I mean, the rest I feel like is just going to fall into line. I mean, that's the issue with Datasmith. Like, it will not work for me at some points. There's always an issue with the animation, and I'm like, I mean, I can't sit around and wait for this to work. I gotta like figure out another method. So I mean,
yeah,
you know,
you got to go FBX or whatever.
I can't do that. No. Or Olympic. I've had to do that a few
yeah.
times. Oh.
I exported I exported that DeLorean model that I have, into Unreal as an FBX, and what I find weird is that it brings in, it just brings in everything, like every single little piece and stuff like that, and then was it Cineware that I was using? I think it might have been Cineware, where it brought everything in, and then I tried to drag it in, and it had everything all like funky
the
and
Datasmith
stuff
plugin?
like that. Nah, I don't. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird little beast with a lot of little workarounds, and I hope that I'm hoping that those issues that I'm running into are more me problems and not actual Unreal problems. Unlike After Effects, where I know it's not a me problem and it is a 100% After Effects problem. Yeah.
Speaking of After Effects,
it sucks. It's the worst program in the entire world.
I knew there was somehow, some way we're going to end up at After Effects.
Yeah.
This is the perfect.
I have been
your tweet
doing
got
a project.
Hits this week, by the way.
I have been doing a project in After Effects where it is literally freaking a 3D camera and text and matching it up, to like syncing it up with music and stuff like that. And it's like I've had to spend like 2 hours just like dealing with its little intricacies of not being able to play audio correctly and sync things up. So I'm having to go through and like retime stuff, and then, oh no, now this is out of beat. Okay, let's retime it again. Then I finally, so if you hit spacebar, right, and you play it through, and it's playing in real time, cool, awesome, and then you like start making markers, and then like say you create a null, and then you hit the period button in order for it to go, and you start making markers. Those markers will not line up. They are not the same markers, even though it says it's playing in real time.
What kind of audio is it though?
It's I mean, I've tried it with an AIF or like an MPEG 4 or whatever. It's all they all just don't work. It doesn't matter what it is. It shouldn't matter what it is. What I'm saying.
I mean, MP3s
it's like you
have
have a whole nother program that works fine to do this stuff. Why don't you pull resources from that program, Premiere, or Audition?
Because they'd have to build it from scratch. They're
It's
all
stupid.
built on different
It's
code bases
so-
of programs they
so
purchased.
dumb. It's so dumb. So I have made the decision. I have officially made the decision that from now on, if someone wants to hire me for an After Effects specific motion graphics job, I'm doing an upcharge. I am charging more for After Effects work because it's such a pain to work with.
What resolution are you working in?
HD.
Okay.
But I can't even play it in real time in quarter resolution. I have a $7,000 machine right here, and I just bought a $6,000 Mac Studio, one of the maxed out Mac Studio, hoping that it will solve my problem, because I hear After Effects is better on a Mac, and if it doesn't work,
you're
then
going to be thoroughly disappointed. I'm just saying.
If it doesn't work, then I'm charging an upcharge, and I may switch over to Unreal because there's more jobs out there.
Well,
and I get to work in 3D all the time. I don't love working in 2D After Effects. I love compositing. Don't get me wrong, I love compositing, but I hate doing 2D motion graphics in After Effects. It's just not fun. That's why we need Cinema 2D. Rick, I'm looking at you. Cinema 2D.
See, I mean, anytime, that was the thing. I never liked doing that type of stuff in Adobe, so I just did everything in Cinema and then posited in After Effects, because I can't deal with the playback anymore. So
your tweet got a lot of
I know.
got a lot of likes, 86 likes here. The real benchmark for whether a computer is amazing or not shouldn't be whether or not it can play Crysis, but if it can play 720p half or quarter res After Effects timeline in real time or not. Trick benchmark. There's no computer in the world that can do that because AE sucks ass.
Yep.
Now you got 87. There you go.
There you go.
So Now, there are some things that you can do in After Effects. If I'm trying to get something super accurate, I do the thing where you hold, I don't know, it's muscle memory, so I don't remember if it's Alt or Control, but you hold that and then you click and hold on the timeline, and then it will play that one little section. That's how you do it. But if I'm doing something where I have tons of super accurate points that have to be hit, I will go into Premiere, and I will put markers on those frames, and I will render that out, and I will bring that into After Effects. So I have like a blip that like appears on those beats or whatever I want, because it does suck, and
it does.
There's no alternative. What's
I mean, there's a plugin. I think there is a plugin that does like BPM to marker type thing, and so you just run the script, and it'll put the markers on the top. But you shouldn't have to do that.
That's the thing. That's After Effects' bread and butter has 100% been on people who create plugins for this program.
Right.
You know, they are a container, and everyone else makes After Effects work. But if After Effects, if After Effects' container doesn't work, you know, like if I was a plugin maker who was making my living off of After Effects plugins, I would be pissed right now. You know, just it's such a terrible program.
It's true.
Cinema 2D.
Cinema 2D.
Looking at you, Rick.
Because
Cinema
you
2D.
can do great stuff. A Cinema 4D plays back audio great, because if the system is struggling because you got a heavy scene, you just go down and you turn off all frames, animate all frames, and then it will play in real time. And if it doesn't, it will do that stuttery thing, but it's doing that stuttery thing so that it's playing accurate audio with what you're seeing, you know? And so they've got that down. Why can't they do that in After Effects? I mean, I know that it does that weird thing where you can tell it to only play audio if you're in real time or something, or else it goes and it just like slows down the audio.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like Jags is talking about in the chat, you know, like Unreal's new like motion graphics thing, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool. I'd love to give it a try, you know. I just don't have the time right now, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, then you run into you're gonna run into if a client, especially if a client wants project files afterwards or whatever, you know, like you can't just go into Unreal and be like, oh, here you go, here's your Unreal files. Hope you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know,
luck.
right?
Good luck with that.
You need to market yourself as an Unreal motion graphics artist or something like that. I don't know.
Not really something that I'm personally looking to do. Like, you know, at this stage in my life, I'm like, changing to something like that is just too much. I'll just go another route. Or like you said, choose another career. You know,
I was so mad. I honestly was so mad on Friday working on this project that I was like, I'm done. You know what? I'm learning Unreal. Maybe I'll just switch over to that full time. You know, that and Cinema 4D. I'll never touch After Effects again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to talk about that for a minute because I've probably said this on the show before. I don't need the
every
Earth.
year.
I don't need the Earth to be in the exact same spot in orbit in order to change my life. And so I am continuously trying to change myself and better myself instead of waiting a year, you know?
Well, that's good for you because some of us need the reminder. Yeah, but it's like I like seeing January 1st as like it's your reset button. It's your chance to hit your reset button, and like I feel like it holds more weight than any just random day. You know, you say I started working out January 1st versus I started working out March 18th.
Yeah, but you know what sucks about that is if it's like September 14th and you're like, I need to start working out, and you'd be like, oh, I'll wait till the new year. And you know, put on a lot of weight in 3 months. You know? So I did Ketober in October because I knew the holidays were coming and I was going to be eating pie.
Right?
Lots and lots of pie.
Like you do. Yeah.
And took a little break for that. I'm about to hit the keto again. And but it's a continuation of what I'm doing, you know? I mean, a to-do list can be more than a to-do list. A to-do list can be a list of things you got to get done, and a list of things you would like to get done, and a list of things you would like to start doing.
Yeah.
But are there things that you are doing this year?
I have decided that I have 2 kids, right? And they destroy my home every day, every single day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Amy and I have this thing that I've called it the curse of Thursday, right? Like the kids destroy the house so much that by Thursday, if I don't spend Thursday, if the house is not clean by the end of Thursday, right? It will be dirty, and it will ruin my weekend because I will spend all Saturday cleaning my house. Right. I want my weekends. I enjoy the greatest feeling in the entire world is having a clean house and knowing you have nothing to do on a Saturday.
Right.
That's the best feeling in the world.
Right.
You know? And so my goal, my New Year's resolution is to keep my house clean every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so Amy and I, like, we spent the past week cleaning the house, and even you know the Monica from Friends closet where everything is just shoved in there, you know, like we have one of those under our stairs, and we my entire Jeep is filled with stuff just to go to donations. We cleared out probably 2 bedrooms worth of stuff, you know, and so it feels good, bro.
Feels good,
real
bro.
good. Yeah. And so then I bought a I bought a Husky tool chest, you know, for 450 bones, super cheap, you know, so that I can organize my garage. And I'll tell you the secret: if you don't have a big truck, right? If you don't have a big truck, the secret to getting your stuff home if you don't have a good truck is to sit out on your trunk and look really pathetic, and some random stranger will come up to you and say, "Do you need some help with that?" And they will drive it home for you.
Wow.
Because I was an idiot and totally thought I could fit that thing in my Jeep along with a giant 8x4 piece of plywood.
I fit a toilet in a Honda Civic once.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. Oh, totally.
How do you get that up in conversation other than this? That's
But yeah, I had 3 people. So Home Depot, they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll have someone come out and help you," because I knew I could get that in my car. You know, I knew I could fit that in my car because, you know, it was only 5 feet and I've got 7 feet of room in the back. You know, it would have been fine, right? But I was an idiot buying that piece of plywood. So I was just gonna send it back to the front, and then some random guy came up in a big truck. He's like, "Dude, let me help you," and I was like, "Okay." So he just loaded it up, and I put 100% faith in him to help me bring it home. And he did. He could have very easily just gone, "See ya," and drove off, but he didn't. So gave me a lot more faith in humanity. It was a good thing, you know, that someone was just nice enough to help me take my stuff home. Yeah. But it was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
I'm a cluttery person. I get clutter. It's not like I'm a completely clean person, but I do try to straighten up my office every night. You know, I don't like to walk into it in the morning.
Same.
You know, and when I do, I mean, I don't know. When I do, I still try and clean it up in the morning. Right?
Yeah. Same.
If I leave my stuff out, I got a moon pod and other stuff that I'll drag in here, and I'll sit and play VR and all that, and I'll leave all my stuff out, and I don't like walking into that in the morning. And I'm kind of, I guess you would call me medium, because I am not super clean, but there is that point. There's that threshold. Everybody has the threshold, right? To where how much they can stand, you know, before.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to do this. But generally, I don't like cleaning at night, but I try and do it because
I hate it.
In the morning feels a lot better. You get your coffee, you sit down, and you're good to go. But yeah, it's tough. It's just constant, but it really does beat having to. I mean, if you have to spend 15 minutes a day cleaning, and that even builds up for 4 days, you've already got an hour's worth of cleaning to do. So you know.
Yep. And the thing is, also I bought an air fryer, right? Bought an air fryer, one of the best investments I've ever made, right? Bought that Ninja Foodie air fryer. It's the dual zone, so you've got 2 of them, and you can set them to end at the same time, which is amazing, right?
All right.
So I bought an air fryer, and it normally takes, 10, 12 minutes to cook something. So what I've started doing is, as I put my meal in, that's when I'm downstairs and I just kind of clean up my kitchen and stuff like that. And it's amazing how much you can get done in 10 minutes.
It's kind of like my car hack. When you're getting your gas, that's when you clean
Right?
your car. Yeah.
Dude, we have done that every single time, and we make the joke every time we get gas now. It's like, oh, gotta clean the car because Dave said so.
Right. And I should have brought this up before the end of the year, but that tax break for cars over 6,000 pounds is pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I did the math before the end of the year and went ahead and bought a car because I was like, well, I could pay a bunch of taxes to the government and get nothing in return.
Yeah.
Or I could spend that money and get all that taken off my taxes and have a car.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I'm hoping
car.
to pull that off this year. That's my goal.
Trucks over or any work vehicle over 6,000 pounds, 100% you can write the whole thing off in 1 year. So I went in there and they said that a lot of people are doing that in December. So and it's a whole long story, but I actually got 2 cars, and this actually will work out better on my taxes. But what happened was I bought one, and they didn't know it had a leak in it, and the whole entire interior of the car, the first day I had it flooded. And then they had it for 2 weeks, didn't fix it, and I had to actually trade it in, which sucked. It sucked. I lost money, but hey, now I've got 2 cars to write off on that,
Right.
I'm going to claim the loss on that one as well. But yeah, if you're thinking about doing that, I mean, you've got all year to think about it now. It's not going to help you for last year, but if they're still doing it this year with this year's taxes, take a look at it to do like a hypothetical, plug it into TurboTax or give it to your accountant or whatever you want to do and see if it makes a difference, because man, it made a huge difference for me. I don't like giving the government all my monies. So and then of course that's only America, and this is not accounting advice. Void where prohibited.
Yes.
So
NFA, right? Not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice. Rev, let's talk about you.
Yes.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yes.
I mean, that's
yeah.
why you're here, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
He's here to hang out.
Yeah, So first of all, let's talk about how we met, because it's really funny. We technically kind of met twice, and I didn't realize it. Because
yeah.
First his name was Cameron, and then it was Will.
Yeah, you're
We're just
morphing
clones,
into
we're
Cameron.
just clones, guys.
I got a random Facebook message from Mike Winkleman years ago, and he's like, "This kid right here, bro. This kid, you got to check out this kid. Look what he's..." And he sent me your stuff because you had started doing dailies, and I looked at your Instagram account, and I think it was funny because it went from you just having regular photos and then like high school graduation photo into dailies, and then it was all dailies from that point on. And you had not just started doing it, but you had been doing it for at least a year or two, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you got anything you need to hire him for, he was, I don't know the story of you and Mike in general, how you ended up meeting up, but he sent me that. We chatted. I think I sent you an email or something. We chatted a little bit, but this was like 2017 or 18, somewhere in there. And then you were in the chat and stuff, and we started playing Halo, and you joined our Halo team. And then, like, I don't know, years went by. Probably a couple years, and then I thought of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I was like, we actually had met before that, and I completely forgot. How did you meet Mike in the first place?
It was so weird because, like, I gotta recall it. So I wanted to be like a director, producer, that type of role, just a filmmaker. And I started realizing that wasn't the best path to go on, because like you have to either know people, you have to be in the industry, being the, you know, the doormat for like years, and then you will probably get like a few $1,000s to make like a small short, and then you have to keep going. You won't be making anything until you're like 30, 40 years old, and I don't want to wait that long. If I want to make something, I want to make it now. It's like, so, you know, I finally realized like that's not the path that I want to try to go down. I still want to make films, but not really the thing. So I found this guy, Beeple or something, you know, it's
right.
And, you know, but I found him. I did not know who he really was until like way later on, but I just emailed him, was like, hey, this is what I've done in 3D. I did a little bit of stuff in Blender, like 1 or 2 things in cinema, and was just like, hey, can we like talk? I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have no
get an
idea
email
what's
back,
going on.
you know. I get an email back. He's like, yeah, bro, like, just fucking, you know, get on a call and whatever. And so I called him. We talked for a little bit, and it was on that phone call. He was like, you should do the everydays. And I was like, okay, why not? And that night I started my first everyday. And just
what day are you on now?
Yeah.
How many years?
1591.
Okay.
So what year is this? 4 or 5 somewhere? Where you at?
Or almost 5, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
15, almost 5. Yeah.
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 There you go.
And when you don't have the ability to do it one day, you will scribble on a napkin, draw a triangle, make a dot on a dot on a 1 pixel on something and post it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like, you know, there are times when things happen. I got to travel somewhere. I got to be at a place, and I don't. I mean,
you know.
Yeah, I can't Mograph. I mean, but like, I mean, and I will take my laptop anywhere. I'll take it to the auto parts store if I have to wait on my car to get fixed. I'll sit there, do it every day. But there are sometimes like the laptop done, dead, can't really charge it, or I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I got to like do something, so I'll scribble, do a note. If it's like 2 minutes before deadline, I'm like doing something on the Notes app and uploading it. Still, if I can get that day, I don't like it, having it in my portfolio, but it's a day.
Yeah.
Get it done, move on.
Yeah. You did a triangle the other day, I think, right?
Yeah, that one was weird. I think I was
deep.
traveling back from Chattanooga, and I was like doing something. I don't remember.
Oh, you were at Dolly World? Is that what you were doing?
I wish. That probably would have been a lot more fun, but
Yeah.
Gatlinburg, right?
all in Gatlinburg, man. Dolly's the queen. Nah,
Yeah,
like,
she is.
She is. But yeah, I just was like, screw it, fuck it. Like, just draw a triangle, call it a day. There's another day, another tomorrow.
Right.
You can do better. So
That's the problem I have with dailies. I completely get it. I completely get it. But you know, I can't dedicate that. I can't do it. You just don't know what's going to happen.
It's the way I see dailies is it's an investment in your future, and I am much more of a I need
results now. Right?
I need results now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And so, like, if the thing is, everyone that I have seen who does dailies, you know, you and Shams and Frederick Duquette and Beeple and Victor, you know, it's like everyone that I know who has done dailies for a long extended amount of time has been very successful in their career, you know, and it's like, it's because they're putting out so much work all the time, you know, and they're getting seen.
yeah. I mean, I think like I'm the same way. Like, I want to see something like right now, and I don't want to have to wait like later on down the line. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I gotta wait for this plugin, or I gotta wait for this, or I gotta wait on my computer. It's like, I just want to be able to get it done now, and I think that's why the everydays were so intriguing as well, because I could at least learn something that day and make something that I saw was like, you know, decently okay.
Yeah.
And then over time, and now that I look back, I'm like, that was dog shit. What was that? Like, now, you know, you start to realize why you did the everydays. That's the reason.
Stuff now is like polished turd.
Yeah, and that's honestly, like, even for me, looking at stuff that I did 3 months ago, I feel that way, and I get that it helps.
The stuff I'm working on now, I think that.
Yeah. I look at the stuff I'm posting, I'm like, is this really good? I'm not sure if I talked about this on the show or not, but those people who have face blindness? Have you heard, where they can't see people's faces, and they could see their own partner and not even know that they're them because they can't recognize faces. I feel like I have that when it comes to my own work. I cannot tell. I'm like, is this good? I don't know. Like, I cannot.
I get that.
I can look at anybody else's work and be like, oh, that's badass. And I cannot look at my own stuff at all objectively. I mean, I know everybody probably has that problem in some sense of the word.
I look at my stuff and I'm like, this is all good.
Yeah, I'm the fucking goat. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I rule. I'm trying to bring up your reel here. It's like...
My reel? Oh my god, that's old. Oh shit.
What, the one you just posted?
Oh, that reel. Oh, I was like...
Bring it up full screen.
Gosh.
Stupid... Man.
Oh, it's on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll find it on there. Instagram sucks in the browser. What's up with that?
All these social sites suck.
Yeah.
It's like Instagram sucks. Twitter sucks now. Thanks, Elon.
The thing about doing the dailies on the reg, right, is that you will get certain ones that hit more than others. And sometimes you don't know why, right? Like Rev, I'm sure that you have one that you're maybe it's not even particularly your favorite, and it will blow up. Does that happen? You'll be like, why?
Oh my god! Like, well, no, there's one where it's like, it's so stupid. I'm just like, I'm either hanging out with somebody, like, and they're like, oh, you should add this in there, and I'm like, okay, why not? And then I add it in there, and it's just like, this is so dumb. But I gotta get it done in 5 minutes, get it done, upload it, and I'm thinking, this is dog water. This is terrible. It's awful. And then everyone's like, dude, this is. They'll send me like a message. I don't really read comments, so they'll send me a message and be
that's
like,
smart.
That's a very good. Now I'm assuming you got that idea from Mike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done that for a while. It's kind of just been, or like with the I would used to do short films, and I did it, for a while, and just was like, the comments are either, dude, this is like awesome, fire. And then some of them are just like, this is stupid. And I'm like, where's the critique, though? There's no critique to it. You're just saying it's fire. There's nothing. Like, it just doesn't help. Like, there's no critique to it. So,
right. Everybody just
can't
gets
get
into political arguments randomly. I see
That's
that.
pretty.
That's what happens
That's
on.
well done.
That's what happens on Mike's. Right. Like he just gets. He'll, of course, because he does this, he'll put something political in there, like Elon or Kanye or something.
Dude, and
then it just becomes a whole conversation about Kanye in the chat, and it's like, I know he's not looking at that.
I mean, I think that's his goal too.
Right.
Like not to bring up political arguments, not to be like, oh, whatever. It's to troll.
Yeah.
Well, that's what gets you traction too. That gets you hits.
I mean, dude, the very first the very first Buzz Lightyear milking thing that he did, and all of us were like, what is that? Because that was the first time he had ever done something like really weird like that. I mean, unless you're looking at his super early, sketches and stuff like that. But it's like, what was that? And we laugh. There's that clip where he says, this is exactly what I should be doing. And we all laugh. And then that ends up being the case of what gets him like mega super popular, It's like, it's so funny.
Yeah, you start to
and then you got this FTX crap that he's been doing the other day.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, come on, Mike, you could do better than that.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing. It gets the hits, right? And
right.
You just never know what's gonna hit. Like, I've been talking to Julie about this because I have been posting some reels, TikToks, and things like that. I'm working on a big push right now where I'm recording a bunch of stuff in bulk for my Instagram and for my TikTok and for my YouTube stories and all that, right? But this experiment of I'm posting the same thing on every platform. This one got 5 hits. This one got 2,500 hits at the same time. And then the next day it goes the other way. Like, you just don't know what's going to hit. So now it's more about, like, how often you do it. So, Rev, your dailies will do great in that, you know? Yeah, I don't...
That's the point. You're, like, oversaturating everyone with your work, you know? They're going to know who you are.
So it's more about quantity rather than quality, you know, which kind of sucks because you want your stuff to be quality, right? And so, I mean, what do you do, Rev? Like, you know, we're looking at your stuff here. When you're designing this, do you ever keep any of that in mind, or is it just what you want to do? Like, what gets you the idea? Like, what's the motivation behind these?
I mean, like, sometimes it's a photo, sometimes it's like I'll watch something, or like somebody will send me something and I'm like, oh, it gives me an idea. And then sometimes it's just like, okay, what do I have in my asset library? Let's see what happens. And then sometimes, yeah, you get a triangle.
There's a triangle.
Like, you know,
but you put it in the corner, like, instead of just making it right in the center.
Yeah.
It creates,
That's
like,
deep.
you know.
That's deep.
Yeah.
It's all here. It's all here.
Big brain, dude.
Big brain. Big Brian's.
Big Brian time.
Big Brian. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, and then sometimes it's, you know, Christmas. Boom.
Yeah.
The elf. Like it just depends. Like this one, working on some like assets, kit bash stuff. Was like, let's, you know, do something with that. But
do you find that
real,
the video game and pop culture ones tend to do better than some of your other ones?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really look at like analytics either. So like, I don't. I mean, people will send me a message and be like, "Oh, this was a cool one," or like, "This one's deep," or like, I'm like, "Okay, that's deep." Like,
yeah.
Okay.
You never look at any analytics to just see what did better or at all, like ever?
I mean, there'll be like a time when somebody's like, "Hey, look, you have this many followers," and then I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I'm like. And it's not that I'm like blind to it. I'm not like, oh, shield myself away from like. There'll be a time when somebody will send me a picture or something. I'll see it, and then sometimes I'll go on my like profile to like change something, like at the bio, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I'll see that update of like how many followers, and I'm just like, okay,
right.
It's not. I'm not like completely shut off. I'm not like, oh, I don't want to look at it. It's just like it's not super important to me to know who liked it, who didn't. How many people did it reach, you know, whatever. I'll take advice. Like, I'll be like, hey, someone will be like, hey, don't change the post caption because it won't reach so many people. And I'm like, okay, good note. I'll remember that next time.
Don't change the post cap? What do you mean?
Like if you go on there and edit the caption, like for some reason that doesn't reach as many people, or it like doesn't, something like that.
Now this is your debris pack right here, right?
Oh yeah.
Free Gumroad debris pack going on.
Little debris pack free on Gumroad. Yeah.
Got to get the plug-in, right?
Yeah. That was just like that was on a whim. I don't even think I like. There was no plan to do that. I think I just like made it, and then was like, let's just keep going. And in a day, I just made it and sent it out. Like.
Well, I was gonna ask. Like, I didn't know if like maybe you had a need for a debris pack, like there weren't enough good debris packs, so maybe that's why you did it, or.
Well, like I mean, it's the same idea of like the VJ loops. Like, if I make something custom and it's just for me, what better? There's no use for it. I'm just gonna be using it for like my own stuff, and that's fine.
Right.
But like, you know, other people could have a use for it as well, and I don't really want to like sell it. It's just like, you know, that won't reach more people. So
otherwise, it's going to sit on your hard drive, right? Like, it's just going to be there. Yeah. You're going to make it anyway.
It's going to take up space. There's no need to, like, you know, have it just sit there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll in a day, I'll just make a Rumble pack and then send it out. And that's all, like, photos that I took around town. Like, I went downtown and took brick building, like, shots, and then just projection mapped it onto some bricks, and then dynamically made it fall, and you know, whatever. And there's a second one coming out soon. I just got to be able to get that figured out, and it's going to have way more debris, way more like bigger piles, more photogrammetry type stuff, and then
twice as much debris. Debris pack 2.
saw a
Electric
TikTok
boogaloo.
the other day of Lawrence Pompey. He was on a couple months ago, I think. And he's more of a Blender, Unreal. He's getting more into Unreal now. But he did a TikTok the other day about, when you're creating content, think about why you're doing it. Are you doing this because social media is going to like it? Like, I see a lot of TikTok channels that are like that. They're like loops of geometry or something with a little loopable music. And I think we've all probably messed with that a little bit, tried to do something, but it's like his point was like, is that your goal? Like, do you really want to make that your goal? Like, are you making art just to put it on just for social? Because that's not really the best idea. I mean, I understand doing it sometimes, but
yeah, I think like do what makes you happy. If your validation of other people makes you happy, go ahead. I mean, is it healthy? Not really, but like if it makes you create more work, I think, like do it reasonably, but like go out there and make something, post it, see what people think, and you can do that. For me, it's just like making stuff and then sharing it is some of the, that's my goal. That's one of my favorite things. It's just being like, hey guys, here it is.
Yeah.
Take what you want from it and then go and make the next thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't need freelance work. Here's some art.
it's and that's the
Do
thing.
you know who
too,
I
like,
am? Yeah,
well,
I don't need you.
it's just like, well, it's just like that helped also build a portfolio as well. Like I don't think people realize it. Like, and that's the thing. Like younger artists don't realize it. Like, make work, even if it's not for a client. They're not going to be looking for specifically what did you do on client work. They're going to be looking at what did you do.
What can you
what
do?
What can you do? What are your
capabilities?
skill sets? Like if you make an entire title sequence for like Game of Thrones, like a faux one or whatever, and people see that and they're like, wow, they'll probably hire you for something like that,
Yeah, you got to make what you want to get hired for, right? I mean,
exactly. Well, I mean, I was telling like a bunch of students before, like, make what you want to do. Like that's it's simple. Like they're like, oh, well, what do you mean? I'm like, exactly what I said. Make what you want to do. If you want to do VJ content for like festivals and make custom stuff, go make like a like a faux like content visual pack for a specific artist, and hopefully they might be like, oh, that's cool, and pick it up. And then you've got more work on top of the work that you just did.
Right.
And even then, if it's not for that artist, someone's going to find it. Someone's going to be like, oh, that's cool, I want that, and then pick that up too. So it's just, you just got to do it. I think that's a lot of people get caught up in like whether or not like they need to do this or that. Just go do it. It's that simple.
I was having a conversation with my daughter actually about school in general and what they don't teach you in school. And I'm curious. I know you were trying to figure out like what to do next, and you ended up talking to Mike. Where were you before that? Like, what was your start in this? Did you go to school for it at all? Were you just messing with it? Like, how the part before Winkleman? How did you get started there?
Pre-Winkleman.
Yeah.
For the Winkleman. Yeah. So I'd always wanted to do like artistic type stuff, just like drawing. Like I always drew like sketches and things like that. I mean, I'd be in like church, like with a little pencil and pad, just sitting in the pew, like in the floor, drawing, and just do stuff like that. And then slowly, it's like, oh, there's technology involved in some of this stuff. And then I'm like, oh, what's a camera? What's a lens? What's like a DSLR? What's a camcorder? Things like that. And then I had Legos, so of course, stop motion animation.
There you go.
Doing that. I made like little short films with little Lego figures, and then would make scripts, do lighting, compositing. That's when I learned compositing. And then once I started going deeper into compositing, I was like, oh, VFX is kind of fun when I do it on my own, it's kind of cool. And so I would make like scenarios to just make like VFX shots. So like, of course, one is like flying. Everybody wants to fly. So let's make a flying VFX shot. Go into that, and then when I was getting into like high school, some of the people there started noticing, like teachers started noticing that I was doing this thing, and so they were like, "Why don't you go and be in the film department?" And it was just like a few people. A few of them were not even wanting to be there; they just wanted a credit. And then a few were actually wanting to make stuff, and so I was like, "Let's just make like a film. Let's just like do stuff."
Yeah.
And so we did. But the catch was, if we're gonna have that film department, we have to do stuff for sports. So we had to do like highlight reels, things like pep rally videos, things like that.
They make you go out and shoot the football game.
I did.
They make you run
football.
the cables only.
Luckily I played football, so like I did not.
Rev's a jock. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know about jock, but I played. That was
what position? What position?
Center.
Okay. Wow. Dang, dude.
Yeah, CTE will kick in like a few years. But yeah. So like I would be the one that would teach people how to like use the camera, what shutter speed does it need to go on, like to get the best shots, exposure, whether it needs to be on auto, whether it doesn't, and then they would go out, film what they need to film. I would direct from the sidelines, funny enough, whenever I was like off of plays. Like, hey, go to that, like go to the end zone. Like we're about to score right here. Like go over there. And then afterwards I would edit, do the like comp work, do all the audio, did all the, voiceover type stuff, and then send it off for the week or whatever. Yeah. And so every Friday it would be like a new thing.
New highlight reel. You just highlight yourself every week, Sure you're...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I miss Friday night football games.
Yeah.
I for probably 3 or 4 years straight, I shot high school football, and it was so much fun being on the sidelines and just like, once the weather got really nice, it'd start like cooling down, and
October.
Then you just go out there and you'd shoot football, and it was just, then you go and support the team and stuff. It was so much fun.
I was a band nerd, so I was at all
Of course
the games,
you were. Yeah.
I was in the marching band.
French horn, right?
Yeah.
I was also, it was very close for me to either be football or marching band. Like, because I played, when I was in the 8th grade, they brought me up from 8th grade to play in the marching band. Because I knew what I was doing and they needed more people to play. So I came up and played percussion. And then when it was my freshman year, they were like, you got to decide. You can't keep doing this. And so
you're a drummer too?
Yeah, I play a few.
You're a drummer, you're a football player, you're a filmmaker. Dude, Rev, I had no idea.
So talented.
You're like Mr. Man About Town.
I think you've taken some of your Instagrams down, but I just want to show this is the beginning of it all, right? Like you got some.
You're a baseball player too?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Jeez.
Look at that right there. But this is the
oh yeah.
This is the great part right here though. Bam.
Day one.
First
Day
one.
one.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I remember seeing. It was like all Rev in high school, and then bam, dailies. There you go. This is the point.
I love that you put your
look,
signature on it.
There's a couple more. That is freaking great. I love the capsules. I love the capsules of the sun rays.
Yeah.
Look at that. Is this cinema at the time?
Yeah, this was all cinema.
Yeah.
I had done like a few things in Blender, and at the time Blender was not what it is now. And it was just
free.
Oh my god, Blender is free. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's just like, it was so bad at the time. Like I tried, and I just could not get a hold of it like the way that other people could. So
it's so funny to me because, like, no offense, like your early stuff, it's like you'll have a not so great one. One that looks like someone on Cinema 4D subreddit just said, hey, I just picked up Cinema 4D today, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll have one that's like, it looks like you would have created it today because it's very good, It's it's a me, Mario.
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 Mario. You want to get sued?
It's I don't know. I mean, there'll be times when I like do something and I'm like I want to like flesh it out and I'll spend a few hours on it, and then there's some where it's like got to do it in like an hour.
Put some capsules on there. Yeah. See, that one's nice.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
okay.
I mean, that was
your style.
It's composited well. It's lit well.
Style.
I like it.
Yeah. That was pre-octane. This was pre-octane, so
right.
All C4D.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find C4D? Just from the internet, or somebody introduced you to it?
I think it was. I can't remember. I think somebody had. Oh no! I remember. It was So people were giving out like a long time ago these YouTube like 3D intros that had like the bass drop and everything, and it would just like explode and do it, And I started noticing like, oh, these are Cinema 4D, huh? Okay, I'll go and take a look at it and see, what it is. And I looked at C4D Lite, and I was like, oh, so this is my intro to C4D. Started looking at it a little bit more. Finally, somebody either gave it to me or like it was before the subscription stuff, I think,
Or you found a cracked file of it or something, and we know how it is.
I don't. No, I think somebody did give it to somebody gave it to me, I think, and I can't remember. It was either a teacher or somebody was like, "Hey, I don't use this. Like, do what you want with it." And I was like, "Okay." Picked it up and kept going. So.
Well done.
So now you've got all this experience behind you here, and now you're working for the Beepleplex. The
Beeple. Is that what it's called now, or is
that's what we're calling it?
Yeah,
I've heard the compound. I've heard the facility.
I think Beepleplex is the best, though.
Yeah, the Beepleplex. Sponsored by Pixar. Sponsored by AT&T.
Sponsored by Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
And Hillary Clinton.
Sponsored by FTX.
Yeah.
The FTX Beeple sphere.
So, I mean, short of like keeping your chops up, like why do you continue to do dailies now that you have
why are you
this
still
job?
doing
Like,
dailies?
what's your reason to keep going?
I'm stubborn as fuck, and I don't want to quit.
I get that.
Like it's
the
just
second you miss one day, you're just like, all right, okay, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. I missed it.
It hasn't happened yet. I mean, there have been times when I've been like, I'm fucking tired. I want to go to sleep. Like, but I'm like, just get it done, and then move on. But it's
Have you seen the people who do the Duolingo like streaks and stuff like that?
Oh,
TikTok. I saw a TikTok the other day where they were counting down to midnight, and then right at midnight, you hear the girl yell, "I forgot to do my Duolingo today."
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
It's fine.
I started picking it back up. Like I had known like a good amount of Spanish, but it's like I'm not around my hometown anymore. I can't really talk to any people that speak Spanish anymore.
Right.
Might as well pick up Duolingo. And
Mike doesn't speak Spanish. Oh my gosh, I would.
I try.
I would pay money to watch him speak Spanish.
Como está, bro?
I'll definitely. It's like hola. Like I try to teach. I'll teach some people like certain words and I'm pretty sure I've said something to Mike about it. I'm like, you should learn Spanish. He's like, what? Like, why?
What?
Why?
That was a good.
Okay.
What? What are you talking about?
¿Dónde está Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
Okay, so you work there, and there's a lot of secrecy behind it. So there's only certain things we can talk about. There's only very, very limited amount of things we can talk about. What can you talk about?
See, this is the hard part because you gotta like. I think if you just throw the question out, it's like a pass or answer. Like I don't know. It's so weird because y'all know.
Is it? I actually have no idea what you do. We joke around that you just do Mike's dailies all day, and that's that's. But I honestly have no idea what you do.
Do you make any art? Are you on the box? Are you in more of a managerial role?
I am the box.
Ooh.
I am the box.
So you're a computer.
I am.
I'm a computer.
I'm a computer with 4 screens.
Stop all the downloading.
Stop the downloading. Do you like, what's your percentage? Like, do you have to do paperwork? Do you have to do databases, clerical work, hardware stuff, software stuff? Like, can you give us a general idea of your day to day?
I mean, like, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, it's hard to explain.
And
like,
maybe even not even your own stuff, but like, what about what he's doing are you allowed to talk about in general?
I mean,
like
I support. I'm basically support for what he does. Like, I'm there to help out if needed. And that, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I do. Like, so yeah, I mean, if he needs an asset, I'll help him get that asset. If it needs to be textured, it needs to change pants, I just go and grab, you know.
Yeah.
So, it's mostly just support, help them out, and where it's needed, and you know, go from there. And if we're on a project, we'll bounce ideas around. But
yeah, I guess that's kind of my question right now. Is like publicly,
What kind of projects are there?
What is the company doing publicly right now? Like, what if someone asks Mike, what's going on here? What does he say in an interview? See,
we don't even know what the hell he's saying. Like, I don't like.
That's funny.
right.
Like, yeah, like,
you know, there's, you know,
is there experimentation going on? Is there
yes. I mean, I feel like that's a given based off of what's been going on or what's been released. Like,
right.
You know, there's
like
always
the box with the astronaut moving in it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
With the rotating, like that kind of experimentation, right? Like,
yeah, where we're just trying different things, figuring out what works, what doesn't. And I'm also, like, you know, trying to figure out better pipelines and figure out what works better for what we're trying to do in terms of, like, C4D to whatever, or you know, or even Octane, like making sure Octane works to the best of its ability in our pipeline. And getting all the materials ready, getting all the objects ready, the meshes, making sure they look right, making sure everything's weight painted, you know, things like that.
And there's some stuff that was in a documentary I saw, so I know that that's public. Like, it was referring to like the displays, you know, doing the displays and stuff. That was actually in a doc. Yeah. I saw that. But I can imagine if I had that kind of money, I'd probably do the same thing. I just want to have a place to experiment, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, he's got a lot of ideas, and I feel like, you know, he wants to branch out more into doing stuff that hasn't been done, as well as doing just dope shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's probably stuff that has been done, but it hasn't been done like Mike's going to do it, you know? Like, so that's what we're trying to do. So
is there a lot of, like, in general, like, is it like in your day to day, like not work related, but just like being there, hanging out, is there a lot of crypto talk? Like, because I mean, this is all built off of crypto, obviously. But in general, are there more crypto things going on? Is this more about the art itself? You know, like, where, and the day to day, y'all are like hanging out. You talking about FTX every day, or are you talking about Cinema 4D every day? You know,
I mean, we're just like trying to figure out what works best for the end goal, and it's always going to be the art, and you know, a few other things, but it's always going to be for the art. We're trying to make something to the best of its ability, no matter what's going on. So.
Is
so cryptic.
I know.
I know.
It's so hard.
I'm trying.
I know.
The lawyers are in the corner right now.
Yeah, they're watching.
Off. Like, I can't.
They're like,
no, they're like this.
Too close. No.
You better not say a word.
You got a gun.
Yes.
into a puppy.
If you're in trouble, I need you to blink 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What
No, it's yeah.
do you have? Do you have a lot of
Okay,
time to
so
work
this
on
is public. He broke ground with his mom on this big studio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's got to be doing something with it. You know, I've heard him talk.
With it.
The thing is, like, yeah. So are you? I'm assuming you're working on stuff for the Beepleplex. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
all right.
on, you're getting it out.
So I mean, that's what I'm assuming. It's like, okay,
He's allowed to
from
nod
everything
according
that
to the
I
lawyers.
know that he has told me, right? I haven't signed an NDA, so I can speak freely about this, right?
Okay. Maybe.
He's talked to me about it. I'm assuming that he's building out this whole thing to like just be an awesome, gigantic art installation that people can go and visit, you know, similar to like a Meow Wolf type thing, but like a Beeple Wolf, right?
Yeah,
Beeple.
it's very. It will. I feel like at one point it will be basically that. Right now, we're still going through the process of still figuring out what needs to happen, where things need to go,
right.
You know.
Right.
But design-wise, I think we have it built out, like this idea
Right.
of what's going to happen.
So is that what he's like? The daily is like the daily him like, oh, I got this idea of let's do this, and then he comes to you and he's like, how can we pull this off? And he comes to his brother because his brother's, you know, like a Boeing engineer who's like smart as F, you know, and like it's like, hey, how can we pull this off? So you got the engineering brain, and then they got the artist brain, and you all work together
And
to
the
create
Rev
this
brain.
cool, right? You know, and he just writes the checks, and he's like, let's do this.
Well, I think he's like, you know, he has the idea. He comes to us and is like, are we able to do this? Like, what can we not do?
Yeah.
And we'll give out the list. And I'm very optimistic. I try to be like, yeah, we can do like, you know, a good portion of this, but we got to rethink this or we got to rethink that, you know.
And do you go about like finding vendors who can help him build some of this stuff, or are you guys building it all in house, or what?
We try to do a majority of stuff in house.
That's cool.
Just because, I mean, if the closer it is to us, the better we know it, and the better
Sure,
it's,
yeah.
you know, help
Well,
us.
I think that's what I saw in that video. You or he had you know, originally, what's the company that does the little displays that were in like the original
Infinite
Objects?
Yeah.
Right. And then like I think in the documentary it was showing like a little bit about like trying to do that, you know, more from scratch. Because let's be honest, like those little things, they're cool looking, but anyone can build them themselves with like a Raspberry Pi and some screens and stuff, you know. So if you wanted to do something like that was completely custom, I can see how that would be relatively easy to do, you know, getting the right vendors and all that kind of stuff, having a place to manufacture it, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think is interesting. That's what I think I would do, you know, is just try and come up with stuff like that and find cool ways to do that if I had that kind of money.
Yeah,
you know?
right?
Yeah, I think it's trying to find the best possible way to display art as well as making it. You know, I mean, you go to NFT NYC or you go to like Art Basel, and a majority of it's just Samsung TVs turned.
Right.
How are we gonna, you know, what's the next best thing from that?
Right.
Yeah.
Better
You know,
ways
and
to
there's a
enjoy
lot of
art.
ways to take it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Circle
And I think
screens.
Infinite, you know, wait, what was that?
You could do a screen that's a circle.
Oh,
No,
What
we
if-
tried that. Doesn't work.
Oh, it's a triangle. See, that was a clue. Your daily was a clue. It's all triangle
Oh,
screens.
yeah.
It's like The Office, you know.
so the lawyers
pyramid.
they're cutting me off.
Yeah,
Right,
the pyramid
okay.
device. We figured it out. See, we got too close.
Mm.
Yeah. Men in Black
That's
are
a
going to
shame.
show
Cut it
up.
off. Cut the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to do shorts, to do other things? I mean, you've got your daily job. So, like, besides your dailies, do you kind of like cut it off at the end of the day? Are you tired of art when you come home at the end of the day and just want to play Halo? Like,
No, like, I mean, I find a way to get back into it. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm definitely like worn out, or like any other person would with any work. Like I come home, kind of just want to sit around and do nothing for a little bit. But then again, I'm like, I can't not do nothing. I hate just sitting down and doing nothing. I like being productive throughout the day. So whether it is like music, like I'll write out some music or something, or I'll go for a walk, or like I'll sit down and do my daily before I do any of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I hate
of
not.
many talents, sir.
No.
Actually, the first TikTok that I'm going to come out with this week is going to be about how if I have writer's block, I like to go to music because I feel like music is motivating. And I know you do a ton of like Ableton stuff. You mess around a lot. You remix stuff. You know, we'll be sitting on Discord and you're sitting there remixing something, and we send each other TikToks of audio things as well, like Ableton tips and tricks.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot. You know, you've sent me TikToks before, you know, about audio that I sit and watch on the toilet, so I can learn how to learn how to compress better. And
I'm telling you, I will say this
On the toilet or in audio?
both.
I will say this: some of the best work comes out when you're on the toilet. Hey, I'm not proud of it. Dailies on the toilet. I'm just saying.
Have you
Dailies
ever done a
on the
daily on the toilet?
Cannot confirm nor deny.
Well, how do you do that? A laptop?
Yeah.
Man, I hope you're not
Your legs are
rendering.
just burning by the end of
I
it.
know.
Yeah, your legs are just seared off. Like,
Well, they're numb at that point.
It'll be like, oh, I need to.
No,
find
you need one of those office or those toilet tables
Yes.
that you
What
can
you
just
really
pull
need
up.
is,
You know,
Mom, bathroom.
my bathroom.
That's it.
That's funny.
I'll never get over the photo you sent to the group chat.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. I was amazing.
That was the
Rev was
was
on
it?
Discord with us one day, and he was just sitting back like this,
Oh yes.
right? And so I screenshotted it and put it side by side with that picture. It was pretty good. Let's see if I
was
can
that?
actually find it.
So back to the music. Other than the toilet stuff, what are some resources that you kind of go to for that? Because just like motion graphics, there's the Nick Campbells of audio. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone in particular you follow, or do you just kind of search around? Like,
I mean, like, I think the best, just like creating stuff in Cinema 4D. I mean, there are tutorials, but I hate going into tutorials because I'm just going to end up making the same thing this guy just made.
right.
Right.
Like, it's kind of
right.
just, I mean, I'm just rehashing that. And of course I could use that to something else, but it makes more sense to just, you know, watch somebody do something live and just making whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing like a certain technique this person is doing and apply that.
Do you
Right.
does it motivate you? Like, do you ever do a daily and start with the audio, or are you just doing audio separate? Like, do you ever put the two together?
Yeah, the funny enough, the time lapse that just came out, I was gonna make a piece for it, but I was like, I don't have time right now. Like, I wanted to like get it done in a day, and I was just like, eh. But it was supposed to be like I was supposed to make a soundtrack for that, so
That's cool.
that didn't play out the way I wanted it to. But I'm gonna use that soundtrack or that music that I made for that for like a VJ loop or something. And a majority of my VJ loops I make like music for.
Just like some loopable beats or something.
Yeah, just something simple. It's not like I'm not trying to make an entire like Dune soundtrack for this one piece of shit animation.
Right.
It's like I'm just trying to make something that works for it, you know, somewhat fits the vibe, and then just push it out, call it a day.
It's always a good start. I mean, like,
I found it.
it's better than nothing. It's better than having like no audio, a cube in a blank canvas, and just having complete writer's block. You know.
Yeah.
That's helpful at least. Are you sending me that photo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Oh, you definitely.
Oh, y'all! If y'all haven't done this lately, y'all should go through our Halo group chat and look at all the pictures because it is hilarious. There are some good ones in there.
That's
The cam one always that still boggles my mind. I love it.
Oh,
This
Oh
was
my
at my
gosh.
this was at my old place, so like I was probably like
This is a few years
oh
ago.
man.
50 pounds bigger, longer hair.
I know, man. You've been getting fit. Talk about that for a minute. How do you
Yeah.
manage? Because you get up early and work out, right? Or is it late? I don't remember.
I get up at around 6.
You
Get
don't
up-
have kids, so you can, do that. You got more time.
Well, I mean, it's yes and no, but I get up at 6. I'm not a morning person. I
Right.
don't, like at all. I work better at night in anything. So I'll get up early though, just so I can like not be grumpy and not be a shithead. Get my day started and then do whatever I need to do. I'll go home, do my daily, do whatever, like a short film, do audio, do whatever. And then sometimes it's late, sometimes it's not, but usually my average time to go to the gym is like 12, 1 in the morning, somewhere around there. And then work out for about an hour, hour and a half. And then
God, it's so late.
and then go back home, shower, go to sleep, do it again the next day. So
Man, are you not, man? I go, kind of end of the day 5 or 6ish because I cannot do it in the morning, so I get that. But I don't know how you do it at midnight.
well, it's like the only reason I do it at midnight is because
It's because he's
Um,
under 30, and he's not completely exhausted by then.
well, it's just there's so many people when I go to the gym at like 4 or 5. I hate waiting because every time I go there, hate waiting for something, and then I'm sitting there and I just wasted another 2 hours waiting on shit. And it's like,
Yeah, I get that.
I could have been done in like 30 minutes, but I had to wait here for another 45 to 50 just for this.
Yeah, some dude to finish his squats.
Well, not even just that. It's like somebody's on the machine. They're sitting there on their Instagram, just blah, 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 and I'm like,
Right,
hey,
and they'll
I've
do
gotta,
like a set of 3, and then they'll sit there.
Sit there on TikTok.
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't mind if that's your thing, cool. Like if that's what helps, do your thing. But like you gotta understand, there's 5 people waiting on this machine. Can you do this after the fact?
Yeah.
Right.
It's and I will say this: it's so much better going into a gym where you're the only person there, and you can just blast your music. You can
Blast your music, blast your quads,
Right.
blast your quads. Yeah, and just like not have to worry about like other people, and I mean you can play the TV as loud as you want if there's a TV in there. Grunt, do whatever, like what They don't have the honk alarm.
Unless
in
you're
there,
Planet Fitness, you're not allowed to grunt at Planet Fitness.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They think it's like they think it's like discouraging other people from working out. It's like you got to keep to yourself and don't be
honk alarm.
the hunk alarm, right?
Yeah.
It's so
alarm.
stupid.
Yeah, there's so many videos on it. I think what was it, Thor, the strongman guy.
Uh-huh.
He did a video where he goes into Planet Fitness and lifts like massive amounts of weights and just is going brr, brr, or whatever, and the alarm goes off, and they're coming over like, you can't be doing that. You can't.
It's
Wait,
it's
the
stupid.
alarm goes off.
Yeah, they have an alarm.
They have an alarm that they press if they hear someone grunting.
Yeah.
Who presses this?
Because they're all about like, equality and people, being able to feel safe in the space. But, as soon as you make a noise, they're going to call you out and make you feel like a jerk for it.
I understand if
Hypocrites.
you're making a noise, but I do also understand
That's why they
that,
only
like,
cost $10 a month.
I've been to gyms like that where it's just over the top. Okay, now you're just trying to get attention. I get that. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, there's some where it's like, what the heck, but also like the lunk alarm, not the hunk alarm.
Lunk
Lunk
alarm.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
A lunk is like a big, like, just like jock looking guy that
Oh,
wears like cutoff tees and
so a
snap
chat alarm.
Chat alarm, I would think. Yeah.
Chat alarm. Is it something where anyone can just pull the
The
alarm?
lunk
Is it like a
alarm.
fire alarm?
According to Urban Dictionary, an utterly stupid alarm at Planet Fitness that goes off when people are too loud and therefore making the other people in the building uncomfortable.
Are the other people there allowed to pull this alarm, like a fire alarm, or is it someone?
No,
at the
it's
front
supposed
desk?
to staff. Yeah.
Okay. Random.
Yeah, don't be a meathead. That's basically what they're saying. But it's so weird because like you wanna have someone there that has been through it and knows what to go through, because you don't want to be like surrounded by a bunch of newbies because you're sitting there like, what?
Here's the thing: they put their price out there so cheap so that anyone will sign up, and they make it really hard to get out of your contract, and then they make you feel awkward if you're too loud, so that no one will show up. So they just make money, from no one being
I feel
there.
like that's
minimal
a lot of
work.
those places. I haven't had a gym membership in so long. I just go out the door.
I got a
it's
gym.
free.
I got to get gym membership to the YMCA, and I've been there like 5 times. I'm paying like $80 a month.
Yeah, that's
for
why I
it.
don't do
Oh
it.
my god.
Yeah,
Do they have, like, a
that includes the
basketball
whole
court?
family.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
you
guess
can go
like, that's
swim. You can play basketball. Of course, I guess you could do that at whatever. But it's the whole family.
Does it help?
And they got
you, though?
daycare.
Like, besides health, does it help you mentally? Like, how do you feel? Like, does it help your work? Do you feel like better during the day?
Yeah, I mean, and just in general, like losing all that weight was like a big help. I sit in the desk all day, or I'm not really doing much. So of course I knew that was going to happen, that I was going to gain a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And then of course when it did happen, I was like, I feel like dog shit. Like I need to fix this, because I don't want to be like this, especially in my 20s. The prime time. I don't want to look like I'm, a potato. So
You don't want to look like that picture.
or that picture. Yeah.
Was that the
I'm not gonna
driving
lie.
force behind?
It's all Matt's
like,
fault.
I'm not
Is
gonna
that
lie.
what I look like? Oh, all right.
Funny enough, I put that up. I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's funny. That's the thing too. I can laugh at like myself as well. Like I knew that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we give you a hard time.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Like I love it. Like this thing too. I think if you can laugh at yourself, like that's that can help in any way. And I know there's like a lot of things about me that I can laugh about. And that was one of that's one of them. That was the fucking picture. So I hung that up. Was like, you know what? I think it might be time to lose weight. So
That's funny.
You're
welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Now, if you could find something to motivate me like that, that would be great.
Just Photoshop Matt into the photo, and then.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! What was I just gonna ask you? I lost it. Oh well.
Could do some Mograph recommends.
I was about to, but I had one more question for you, and now I don't remember. I don't know.
Keep asking. You got it. You got it.
Is working for my card, or is it a pretty easy job?
It's not easy.
Is it stressful, or is it not very stressful?
I mean, it's not an easy job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone would think this would be super easy, or they might think it's easy, or
demanding.
Well, no. I mean, he expects a certain.
He is the best boss I have ever had.
Looking over at him right now.
He's got you on one of his 20 TVs.
He lets you do the show on a Monday afternoon, so he's gotta be
I mean,
cool.
and I'll let him know, like, hey, I'm doing the show, like, certain things like that. I mean,
so you're doing this today?
You probably forgot, but
He's gonna walk in,
I don't know.
start yelling at you.
Probably like right there. Like I have no clue.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk in. He's like, "F you, bro! You screwed this." Oh, you're live. Sorry.
You fucking idiot! No, I'm just.
I told you what to do for my daily. I didn't want this.
I told you medium rare.
I said 2 cups of coffee. 2 cups of coffee. No, like
139 degrees. Damn it.
I wanted 3 boobies, not 2.
Yeah.
I wanted 3.
Oh, that's funny.
No, it can be difficult sometimes, but I mean, so is a lot of things. You cope and figure things out and move on. And it's a learning moment too. Like you figure out what needs to be done better next time. You don't do that again.
Yeah.
So.
I know. Well, I wasn't going to ask you a question. I remember what I was going to say is that the best thing you can do is schedule the workouts that you're going to do.
Yeah.
And like that goes on the calendar. It isn't like I'll do it when I get to it. If you can schedule it, I mean, I've been doing it for a while. Julie joined in with me in like late January, early February last year, and it's always part of the schedule. It's not like, here's the schedule. Oh, we didn't work out today. It's like, no, today's that day. Like, for example, because of the holidays and things, and because of the new year, we didn't do our long weekend run. So it's on the calendar today. After the show, I'm going running for 3 hours.
Good luck.
And it just makes such a huge difference to schedule it, because otherwise it's not going to happen. You know? And despite being busy and despite being at my desk all the time, we still made that happen all year, no matter what. And you may have like a week where you can't, you got to travel or something, that can be difficult. Especially if you're the type of person that likes to go to a gym, like Jags, for example, if you're that type of person and you're going to go on vacation, it's like, okay, I need this type of weight and I need to find a gym. Like if you really want to keep that up.
Yeah.
But it's important to have that on the schedule too, I think. So all y'all that are doing the New Year's resolutions, that would be my suggestion, is put it on the calendar for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing too, it's not, if you're really wanting to see results, not just working out, the diet.
Oh, definitely.
Like, do not forget, like, the diet is a big part of it. Cut out sugar, not a lot, but cut out sugar.
All the sugar, yo.
Yeah.
Take it all out.
Protein.
Oh.
Don't
only
eat
carbs.
Only
carbs, no fats, no protein.
Fat and protein, man. Fat and protein, low carb.
Carbs and protein.
Intermittent fasting, even if you're not doing keto, intermittent fasting is so great.
The best I have ever looked in my life was when I went on a super low fat diet.
Yeah.
Super low fat diet. I had to for health issues, so I was eating a lot of pancakes and a lot of syrup and like all the stuff that was just loaded with carbs, but like zero fat. And man, I'd be full. Well, no, that's not true. It wouldn't keep me full for very long, but I was skinny.
Another thing,
I mean, I looked skinny.
Well, another thing you can do too is just be like, if you are going to do diet and exercise and there's a week you can't do one, do the other. Yeah. At least. You'll feel better. Funny. Sorry, what were you saying?
How to be handsome like
How to be handsome like Rick.
Damn it. Not like that was the thing. I think I took it a little bit too far because I did a calorie deficit as well as a intermittent fasting. So I didn't eat, or I only ate between 12 and 6. Only ate a certain amount of calories, and I was strict to that. Like I wrote it down. And it got to the point where I was just eating the same meal every day.
Yeah, I like that. That helps.
I don't even mind it. I don't mind it because it's like I know this works. I don't have to worry about doing 5 meals a day, or 5 meals a week.
Right.
And I'm not like it helped. I'm not a big breakfast eater. All I do is I drink a cup of coffee, black, like, and then water. And then just go home, work out, eat, drink a protein shake, and then call it a day.
And once you get used to it, it's so great. Like the afternoon when it's 2:00 and everybody else is falling asleep at their desk and you're not, because you haven't eaten anything. And it's just like, let's keep going. And it's hard to have it's hard to not have a calorie deficit when you do that though, because in that little window, you have to eat so much. You're like, I can't even eat 1,200 calories in 1 hour,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even. I try to. I'm more of a snacker too. I mean, I think that was one of the reasons why I gained so much weight too, was because I would eat 3 full meals a day, and then I'd be like, I want a snack.
I deserve this.
I deserve this Swiss roll looks good right about now. This Little Debbie, it's like things like that, and I still do like somewhat snack. Like I'll either cut down the portion of the meal and then eat a snack throughout the 12 to 6 period, and then call it a day. But yeah, I will say that intermittent fasting, calorie deficit, it worked like a charm.
It's great.
So
It really is.
yeah.
You'll even if you're not trying to do keto, sometimes intermittent fasting will get you to ketosis. So
Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes you even skip a day without thinking. It'll be, I know I do. I've heard other people who have done it who say the same thing. They're like, I forgot to eat today. Whoops.
Yeah, I've seen that too. It can be bad, but
I'm just waiting for the show to be over so I can go eat. I'm starving right now. I've already had breakfast.
Oh shit! Wait, did you not have lunch?
No, it's the lunch technically starts when the show does. So.
Oh, I thought y'all eat okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
No, on Mondays I normally don't eat lunch until after the show's over. So.
I gotcha. Okay.
Let's do Mograph recommends. We're gonna ask you
it.
some of your favorites. I know you know the drill on this. I do have one link real quick. I wanted to say this came out a few weeks ago. It's Found. It's the app that will let you organize your files and your graphics and things. I think we may actually have
Found.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. Remember, I had a meeting and I was telling you about it.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's really, really great if you want to organize like some of your your reference photos for graphics and all of that kind of stuff. You can take still frames from video. You can scroll your videos. You can do there's like a million things you can do with it, and we'll do an episode on it eventually. But I just wanted to put it out there. I heard that it was pretty good from the people who were trying it out, and then I picked it up and played with it. And I'm trying to remember the website right now because it's not found.com. It's hold on. I'm trying to remember the actual URL. Well, I'll find it. In the meantime, let's start the Mograph recommends. We're going to ask you your favorite things, and we're going to start with your favorite movie.
Oh, Tron Legacy.
Really?
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Well, he's heard 355 episodes. He knows what the questions are going to be.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
no. It's like, that's my go-to. That's like the one thing, because that was everyone says it's probably like Avatar or some shit. And then there's like Star Wars and, stuff like that. Well, Avatar might be my generation. That's
sure.
But Tron was like the biggest one because it was like the entirety of it. The story is kind of iffy, but the look, the design, the soundtrack. Holy shit, the soundtrack!
Yeah, the soundtrack.
So the sound design, like going to see that in IMAX was the biggest, most influential thing I think that has happened to me. And it got me to where I wanted to be now. Seriously, like it was a big inspiration in what I do. So
I found that link. It's aalab.com if you want to check that out.
Lab.
Yeah. And this is a digital asset management solution designed by CG artists for CG artists, and it's free. So if you want to check it out, we'll do more on it eventually. We're going to get some of the founders on the line and talk about it a little bit. But I've been playing with it, and I really like it. So anyway, sorry for
Tron Legacy. What do you think of the original Tron movie?
Well, I don't know. I think it was also like the technology behind it was like pretty good as well. It just when I did more research into it, because like after that first viewing, I had to go see it again. Then I started looking up like behind the scenes, like how the fuck did they do half of this shit? What was the end goal? What was the how did they do certain
lights
things?
go out?
So,
That's lights went out. What's going on? Blue breaker.
But
all right. Well, on that note, what about TV show?
Oh shit. Well, Breaking Bad, and The Wire.
Of course. Where's Kevin?
Course. Yeah, where is Kevin? I haven't talked to him in a minute.
I know. But besides those,
Shit.
I heard there's
I'm just
a new
gonna throw
show.
out. I'm gonna throw out like Andor. Andor was pretty good recently. I haven't watched the entire show, but I watched like some of the episodes, and it's like no lightsabers, no any of that, and it's still a good Star Wars story. Like that's pretty good. So
I just heard this morning that there's a new Netflix series that you can watch in any order. Did you hear about it?
oh yeah, with Giancarlo.
However you
Despacito.
pronounce his name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What was his name on Breaking Bad?
Gus Fring.
Gus. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome
So-
to El Pollo Hermano, or what was it? El Pollo.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
El Pollo. Yeah.
He's in that, and I forget who else is in it, but apparently you watch it in whatever order they give it. Like, they'll give you a different order. You just have to end on white. You end on the white episode. It's all colors, right?
Oh,
it's like the
okay.
red episode, the yellow episode, the blue episode, and then they'll be all in a different order. I think that happens on Netflix. It'll just randomize it. Now, some people are saying, oh, you should watch it in this order. You should watch it in this order or whatever, but it really doesn't matter as long as you end with the ending episode. So I'm interested to try that out, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
my
it kind
God.
of reminds me of Star Wars when everyone's like, you got to watch the original, and then you got to watch the, and I'm like, everyone ends up in the same spot. Everyone's just pissed at the new trilogy.
I'm just gonna look terrible for the rest of this
What
show.
happened,
I'm sorry.
man?
You okay?
You know how these things run on batteries?
Yeah.
As well as So I my battery died because I forgot to
Plug it
it back in,
Oh, okay.
and now I can't run the cable very well. So whatever, I look stupid.
So the
So
whole
unprofessional.
thing with that series, though, is that I think it comes up in a different order every time on Netflix. So
Oh, so it's got like a random.
Yeah.
scene you
Mhm.
Choose.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like you don't even know what the order.
You
is
just
supposed
have to
be.
make sure that like white is the last one.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, how about music?
Music. I'm just gonna throw out Daft Punk. I think recently, like Daft Punk is always gonna be a classic for me, but and it's like you got the classics like One More Time, The Funk,
Right.
like things
Around
like
the
that.
World.
But also they make a lot of like stuff that's not so much like an earworm, but more of like a good beat to like sit down and like just work and like get stuff done and like and it's still memorable, which is hard to do for a lot of that stuff. Like you hear like lo-fi beats. I don't know who the artist is because it all sounds very similar. Daft
Oh,
Punk, yeah.
You heard the whole thing about that, right? Like some of these artists, quote unquote, on Spotify that do these lo-fi beats, these aren't even real people. Like they're manufacturing these, and you'll go through and like it's a whole bunch of really similar stuff, and it's like someone else is producing like bulk chill hop and stuff. It's very odd. I'm the same way though. I will favorite things on Spotify, and I couldn't even tell you who it is. You know, I just know I favorited it. I've heard the song 100 times, have no idea who it is. I hope that Daft Punk comes back randomly though.
I feel like there's something's gonna come out like later on, whether it be Daft Punk or whether it be their own solo whatever.
They're a 2000s band, I guess you call it band. They're a 2000s group, and it very much sounds like that when you go back and listen to it now, but I always wished that they would have put out more albums in the time they were around,
Yeah.
and always hoped that maybe they would just come out of retirement for something, because it's like we only got one new album in the last decade, and then they were like, we're done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did some collabs. They did stuff with The Weeknd and with Pharrell Williams. Like, and they're pretty good. I mean, it won them a Grammy, so I mean, I can't complain there. I mean, they can't complain, but it's always good stuff. I want them to do more like performance type stuff.
Right.
Like their live tour, like really that was groundbreaking. Like with all the visuals, all the audio, like to sync to everything. Like it was a good all around like set. So
now what about podcasts? What podcasts do you listen to?
Oh my god. Of course this one. What do I listen to? Joe Rogan every once in a while. It's like so.
I gotta say,
It's just like
I know what
there'll
you're
always be
saying.
one, you know,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Like John Bernthal was recent, and I was like, why not? Let's listen to it. The Punisher. Let's see, see what this guy, what's going on with him. And then there's a few where I'm like, this is kind of boring. Like he had a pool player on recently that he was like world renowned. He's like 22, has won a lot of championships, and I was like, man, that's kind of interesting. And then he just ended up shutting it off. It's just something to like play in the background. Yeah, there's a few other. XR Motion is a good one. And then there's a few that I've like been on that I kind of keep up with. So.
What about, besides Octane, what's your favorite plugin?
Oh shit. There's gotta be. Hold on, let me look. There's gotta be.
What's your go-to? Is it something in
Go-to?
Cinema? Is it something in After Effects?
I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've like used is stuff that I've either made or So it's I mean, I'll use like Grayscale Gorillas. I'll just say that HDRI Studio.
Link.
Yeah. The link. I use that a good amount. I use Signal sometimes. But it's mostly just Octane and then anything that I create and throw into the asset browser. And that'll be what I do. So
Cool.
What about your favorite app these days? Are you more of an Insta, a TikToker? What's your muscle
even know.
memory?
I
What do you
can't,
hit
like-
without knowing it? Like,
I don't even know. Like I don't Gmail. Let's put that. Jesus Christ, I use that way more than anything else nowadays. That or Discord. I'll use Discord a lot.
yeah.
So,
All right, video game.
do I need to even answer this one? Like, what's the
No, you
It
don't.
better be you better answer correctly.
correctly?
Yeah.
Which one though? There's multiple.
Oh,
Okay.
Which Halo do you like the
Yeah.
best?
Which Halo is your favorite?
That'll be the question from now on. Every guest. Which Halo's your favorite? Just assume that they play.
Right.
I'll say 5 because that's the one that
Yeah.
that's the one that we all got together and played.
Yeah.
Halo 4 will always have a special place in my heart because that was the one I made like a bit of money on. But it's
Oh,
like,
that's right. I forgot.
What?
You were a championship Halo player, weren't you?
not
You
a
were-
championship, but
You
I
were a
played.
competitor.
Yes, I competed. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little.
Did you know that, Matt?
I didn't know that. I assumed because, we can go Rev versus every single one of us and he'll still win. Of course, it's easier. Here's the thing. When it's just you versus everyone else, it's harder for us to find you and it's easier for you to find us.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, until we start playing Beaver Nugs, and then everything is like
I love Beaver Nugs.
all on the table. Hey, y'all are. I mean, y'all made the game, but y'all are pretty good at it. So till you get sniped across the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to make Beaver Nugs for the new game.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So
Do
basically,
they do
it's-
like custom?
I don't know if we have the same things. It's basically you have exploding bullet shotguns, and they go everywhere. And anything in the level that does even the smallest amount of damage will kill you. So the whole point of the thing is that you hide around corners and you're real quiet. It's just the first one to hit anyone at all in any way, shape, or form wins. You die. Even if a little piece of shrapnel from a grenade hits you from across the map, you're dead.
Okay.
So I have to figure out how to do that on the new one. The last one. Life hack.
Oh my god. Okay. Does it need to be motion graphics related?
No,
Nope.
not at all. Could be productivity, could be funny, could be stupid, can be
Oh, a little bit like TMI, but whenever you go use the bathroom, like lay a piece of toilet paper down at the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
and it doesn't,
It catches your turd.
Mhm.
Wait.
So there's no splashback.
Yep.
Oh, no splashback.
You don't
Didn't-
want
didn't
you don't
know
want a
that.
homemade bidet. That's all I'm saying. Is it's
Yeah,
like,
you don't want a homemade.
You want a
bidet.
real bidet.
you want a real one.
You want that David Arya
David Arya
$2,000.
Dude,
Yeah.
that thing is insane. Like he was like, "Yo, you don't understand. You could set it to the right temperature." And I'm like, "Why do you want your ass to be at 74 degrees Fahrenheit?" That's
Well,
just
because
like,
if it's at 72,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you don't
oh, it's
want
not
that.
comfortable.
No, you
Like
don't.
I don't even know. I
Yeah.
just I get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's good hygiene, yo.
yeah.
Safety net.
Now, if y'all want a real one, if y'all want a real life hack, use the asset browser. For the love of God, it helps
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
I like the asset browser.
Yeah.
You make something, you throw it in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's drag and drop, call it a name, and call it a day. And guess what?
Totally.
If you make a database, you share it with other people. You can share your own assets that you've created.
There
So-
you go.
Hmm.
That's how
I
you
have
create
to
a
do
rubble
that.
pack.
Mm-hmm.
I look at all the assets and everything that I have scattered throughout every project in my Dropbox. I'm like, there's no way. It would take me a year to sit there and go through all that and try and organize it.
Mm-hmm.
So my organization is, when did I use that asset
Yeah.
last? Oh yeah, it was that
Right.
project. I'll go get it.
Well, yeah, it's whenever you use it for that, just drag and drop it into the asset browser and call it a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time, like, recently started using the, like, modeling this thing or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, don't forget to put it in the asset browser. Find the folder, throw it in there, call it a day. And you can version number it too, so if you update it, throw it back in version 2.0,
Oh, that's cool.
it does it.
Word.
So
That's super cool.
Well, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, man.
yeah, dude, it
was,
was fun.
It was fun.
Enjoyed it.
I'm
We
glad
need to come up
finally
and
got
see
to.
you at the Beepleplex.
Dude,
Yeah.
you need to stop by. I think
Yeah,
that was
we
him
will.
just knocking.
Ah,
Yeah.
bring him in.
You want me to bring him in?
Yeah, bring him in.
Yeah,
Let
come
me-
on.
Give me like 2 seconds.
Bro.
We'll just play some elevator music in the meantime.
No, you got to play the Rev is Handsome song.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here we go.
No, I can't hear it. That makes me sad.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff, all this dead air.
Right? Dave, how have you felt about LinkedIn lately?
I mean, I just started using LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really have much of an opinion on that, but
I like
will
that
say
there's no
it's-
politics.
Yet.
You know? Yet. I don't think there will be. I don't know.
I would say, like, so far so good. I just started paying for it, and I think it's
Yeah.
really funny because the whole shtick is you can't view other people's profiles in full and contact them unless you pay, and if you pay, you can see who has viewed your profile,
Mm-hmm.
and then once
Unless
you,
they specifically have requested not to be able to
but if you pay,
allow you to see it.
they don't get
Yeah.
to see you. You can go to private
Right.
mode. It's funny. It's like, I
Yeah.
see the scam. That's a
Yeah.
very good scam. You know.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I will keep you updated because I just started paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to post on it. I'm trying to put, anything that I post on Instagram or TikToks or anything else, I try and put on there just to kind of. It's exactly what we were saying the other day or earlier in the day. You just have to throw a bunch of stuff out and hope that
Yep.
something sticks. That's
Yep.
really what it is.
Yep.
So
I will say my numbers, my amount of people of searches that I have shown up in, you know how you get that weekly email that says you showed up in this many searches.
maybe I have all that
So
stuff
like
marked as red.
it's gone up like 10 times what it originally was from me not doing anything.
Right.
He's not coming.
Nah, he was like,
Yeah,
"Ow." He goes, I want to get this done real quick. I'm like, okay, it's understandable.
Whatever.
Do your thing.
He already came on the Halloween show, so it's all good.
Yeah.
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 But tell him we
But yeah.
said hi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
they-
You know,
he
even though
was
he's
like,
too
"Hey,
busy
how's it
for
going?"
us.
It's
Well,
fine.
no, we're working on something, so he's like eager to like get it done. So
Yeah.
understandable.
So he's cracking the whip on you. So it's probably good that we're taking off.
Yeah.
If people want to find you on the interwebs, where can they contact you?
The internet, just go on like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace.
MySpace.
At Revilo_stuff.
Has not been updated since 2000, whatever the fuck.
Where
So.
did the word
Nice.
Revilo come from? Can you tell us? Is that a secret?
Oh yeah. So there was a teacher when I was in high school. His name's Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Flip it around.
Ah.
Backwards.
So yeah, he. It was funny because when the film department fell and it wasn't going to be a thing anymore. I convinced him. I was like, hey, we need to bring this back. Like, this is something that I think can actually be salvageable, and like we can actually make something of it. And he was like, yeah, I believe in you. Let's do this. And so he was the one that vouched to get Adobe After Effects on one of the computers, like get a camcorder.
Gotcha.
And then, so we were, big into trying to get that back up and running. And then finally we did. And now it's still a staple of the high school.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. My video production teacher got arrested and sent to jail for child molestation. So that's
Jeez.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't follow in those footsteps.
Right.
Jeez.
So.
Well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your podcatcher of choice, subscribe, and all the things. We'll put out a newsletter. I said I was going to put out a newsletter, and I didn't.
Yeah.
It's the limbo week. It's the limbo week. It always happens. You can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the Mograph Blandishment shirt, and the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically. Unless you're shams. And we are on YouTube.com/Mograph. We're on Mograph.com. Check out Mograph.com/live if you want to look at the lineup. You want to look at previous shows. You want to get a bunch of info on who's coming up. And there was something else I was going to say. Mograph TV, turn it on, rip the knob off.
Yep.
Got a lot going on there. About to do a little refresh and add some more stuff to it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, did you grow up in Allen? Do we have the same video production teacher?
What are you talking about?
Blue says mine did too.
Oh gosh. Man, hope that's not a trend.
Man. Right?
Yeah, so you keep Mograph TV on?
Yeah. I have a TV over here that I keep it on all the time.
Nice.
Every time you sneak into Mike's office when he's not there, you should
on.
put Mograph TV on one of the TVs.
Oh, have y'all seen the
Yeah.
It might have been displayed somewhere. Yeah.
I think he showed it to me or something, like with his 6 TVs or whatever.
He's
It's
got
ridiculous.
CNN and Fox News on simultaneously.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't you feel the heat coming off the TV. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not comfortable at all. Like, how do you deal with it? It is not. It's no joke. Like, you stand like a foot or two away from it, and you're like, I feel like I'm getting like poison,
Radiation.
Right.
like radiation.
Right.
And he's just like, no, it's all good, bro. It's
Get more. You get more poison from the stuff we watch.
yeah. He's like,
Just
he
don't stand
alters
next to
your
the Fox
mind,
TV,
bro.
the Fox News one.
Yeah, it starts radiating Tucker Carlson into you.
Right. That's funny.
By the way, I think we talked about this before the show, and we played it before the show, but I'll play some of it here at the end. But if you're listening to the audio version, which most people listen to the audio version of this show, we'll play the Rev is Very Handsome chill hop piece that Mellow Mograph made this weekend. He's very handsome.
He is very handsome.
We'll play out with that at the end of it. But Rev, thanks again for
Yeah,
taking
man.
the time. Let's play some Halo later for sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
We need more of that. We haven't been playing enough recently.
It's been so crazy lately. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to schedule a Halo Day again.
Yeah, see, schedule,
and you know
calendar.
what? I think I know this sounds crazy, but I think we should do like a Halo get together, like reunion or something like that.
That'd be fun.
Where like we rent a whole bunch of TVs or something. Everyone brings their Xbox and we do a giant LAN party in like a
man.
cool location.
Yeah.
I come down here.
Yeah.
We can. I mean, you will gladly want to play Halo on the stuff that we have here. So, you know. I mean, I did with David. So that was. Oh my gosh, it was fun. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Maybe that's a thought. I'm okay with that. Let's do that. I got other friends there too in that area.
Hell yeah, dude, come by.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
All
Well,
right.
we're gonna get out of here. Until next time. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
Have a good one.
And I'm Rev. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
You didn't
stepped
wait
all
for
over
him.
you.
Oh, yeah,
all
well,
over
no,
you. See, I
Dave.
skipped a week, and this is all that
Dave.
happens. Take two. Till next time. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Will.
Have a good one.
Later, yo. Oh man. You playing the red is very
yeah, very handsome. Very, very. Yeah, stick with us for a minute. I'll let you work.
Dude.
I know. Dude, Red is so handsome lately.
Yeah,
Yeah, he needs to put that on Spotify. David, if
He's
you're
going
listening,
to.
I think he's
put
going
it on
to.
Spotify. I'll have it on loop.
Red is so
Ah.
handsome lately.